to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Not only did I buy a bottle of the Sonax.
Sonax?
Remember the polish that your son had?
Oh, yeah. Is it good?
I don't
Oh, you haven't used it yet?
I haven't used it yet.
You haven't got it yet?
It's in the house.
Oh,
But
okay.
I also have my doppelganger ceramic.
Oh, okay.
So
you have two different products that are ceramic products.
the
you're
Sonax is a polish,
Oh, okay.
right?
Oh, the polish.
Right.
Okay.
And then the
And
ceramic is the test.
So the ceramic, is that the same stuff that he had, or is that a different one?
I think it's the same
People?
the same product with a different random Chinese name generator.
That's possible.
Like I said, the thumbnail for the product, right down to the microfiber
Looked
towels,
exactly the same.
was exactly the same. There's probably the vowels are interchanged or swapped.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, $5 or $6 higher, 15% off for some random sale.
Yeah.
So it put it at like $2 more than what your son paid.
I see. Yeah.
So I'm going to try and get because the garage is relatively, the Sad Dads Club podcast studio is relatively clean at the moment. I'm going to try and get the car in here,
Yeah.
use the Sonax,
Yeah.
and then coat it
Uh-huh.
and see what happens.
So
Because we both have black cars, so
Yeah.
there should be a like for
His truck looked good.
his truck. It looked immaculate.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what else could be better. Like what we're looking for, I think, if we're trying to be objective about ceramic coatings,
Yeah.
is durability.
Yeah.
I take my car up to the snow. I am curious the durability of California road grime in a rain, somewhat snowy pass traveled.
Well, the good news is we don't put salt on the roads.
Right. So there's that. But, I have,
Yeah.
there's been a couple trips in the snow
Yeah.
that, a good 2-stage wash and soap
Yeah.
has left shit on the car. And I have, using like the $22 bottle, like
Griots.
like spray thing,
Uh-huh.
like even after the Griots like ceramic wash,
Yeah.
like I'll do like a post ceramic coating, and there's still grime that sticks if I don't touch with a sponge. So
I would kind of expect that to.
I would too, but that type of I'm getting in here with the sponge. I'm going to, or a microfiber hand wiper.
Mitt.
Does that?
Yeah.
Abrade the cheaper,
I see.
economical versions of ceramic coatings that you and I know. I have never applied a coating that came out of a bottle,
can.
a little bottle,
Yeah.
on a small microfiber applique.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that. Everything has been I can afford this. It's the squeeze bottle SiO2, with a flash thing, and then you're buffing it off, and it's coming in like a 16, 20 ounce like squirt bottle type of thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. We talked about it. We talked about this topic quite a bit in that chat, but the product that I was talking about that I ordered is called Avalon King something Armor 9 or something.
Okay.
And it's a true ceramic coat. And it normally sells, I want to say, for like $90 or something like that. And I got it on sale for like basically half off. So I ordered it, but I haven't had time to like polish up the car and apply it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have it.
And some of these things too, like I don't know, like the hardening scale that they apply these, like 9H, 10H, 20H, the hardening scale that these things are rated only goes to 10. So
Right.
some of these products are like 20H or 10 plus H. It's like the scale is standardized. There's only 10.
I didn't even look at what the
H's.
Armor Shield 9 says it is.
So the concept that you can trust at face value what some of these companies are saying their hardness rating is for their coating is almost like you kind of just have to. You're just going off
that's sort of like
use.
capsaicin in hot,
Right.
spicy food,
Yeah,
right?
you're like
They
Scoville.
say some shit, and you're like, I don't know.
60,000 Scoville. It's like, you know what? I tell you what. The only way to really test these is to put it on your car, if it's an
Yeah.
affordable product, and then use your car like you would use your car, and see how long the product lasts, giving you the protection that you think it's supposed to have.
I'm looking at their website right now for the Armor Shield stuff, and it doesn't say anything about a hardness rating. I've never seen that before.
A lot of the Amazon ceramic coating
They have
products will have
a hardness rating.
a hardness rating. You know, there'll be 9H, 10H, and anything anything of really anything under 10 is not hard enough as far as durability, and anything over 10 is bullshit. Because you could buy
So
if
the
someone
only
is
thing that you would want is a 10.
the only thing you really want is something that is a 10, right? Because you can find products with at least listed 10H hardening for $22. Your son's product is $22.
Oh, here it is.
So if you
It's a 9H.
there you go. So for not, but realistically, there's no way to know without
You can't.
without using it.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
mean,
have to use it.
how are you going to quantify a 9H versus an 8H and versus a 7H if you're buying these products?
At $22, like your son's product,
Mm-hmm. And it's rated at 9?
I think it's 10. The $22 one is rated at 10.
Okay.
But you're not going to know until you compare.
Yeah.
You put your product on
Yep.
and drive it like you would normally
You
drive it.
you gotta do half a hood in this and half a hood in that.
Well, you could. I mean, the way that California seasons are,
I mean,
if
we'll
you-
go all summer with no water
Right.
coming from the sky.
but
so.
you could. I mean, UV rays are going to break down coatings, and
Yeah.
dust and pollen and wind are going to give you the business just as much as anything else. Some are about midsummer, and you're just as much as a proficient car washer, given a good weather that I am. You wash your car once or twice a month in good weather when there's no rain coming, just to give it a
I-
good shine.
Don't want to talk about it.
And then somewhere in there, you reapply a $22 10H coating and see how long that gets you. And then you can say, well, shit, this 9H actually is lesser of a product at twice the value or twice the cost. You know,
Well,
this
here's
$22
what I'm
one that makes
wondering.
sense.
One of the things that I'm curious about is, so for quite a number of years, we had been using some chemical guys stuff. And I've never, I mean, it's a fairly inexpensive ceramic product.
Right.
It's not cheap,
No,
but it's not expensive either. Or it's not what I would, it's
It
not
is
a high
a-
top, it's not a top tier.
it is a shade tree car enthusiast
Yes.
product
So,
for sure.
I switched from chemical guys over to the griots,
Mhm. Mhm.
however you say it.
You say if you're French, you call it griot.
Ceramic wash, which is what you bought,
Yes,
the green ceramic wash.
yes.
And I'm just going to say straight up, super fucking impressed with that stuff.
I have yet to be let down by the
It
product.
not only does it cause beating on all of the vehicles I've washed it with, but it makes my driveway
Yes,
beat up.
you've
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
my driveway is ceramic coated.
Yes. And that to me is pretty bonkers. My car, you were talking about frequency of wash.
Mm-hmm.
My car has been washed a few times, several times with the Griot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all of the washes I've done with that car in recent time has been with the Griot ceramic wash.
Mm-hmm.
It started to rain, and when it starts to rain, I'll start looking at the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Is it if I'm going to put time in to wash my car, is it going to be at least a week before we see any precipitation?
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to rain, then I'll be like, nah, fuck it. I'm not going to put my time into it. I'll wait till next weekend. And so this sort of happened several weeks in a row.
Mm.
And so the car's getting dirtier and dirtier. Then it went out to have the diff replaced, and it was at the shop for a month. And it was dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got it back. And then we were in the same cycle of rain. And it wasn't until this weekend. So it's been a couple of months. 3 months probably. Easy. Since I had washed the Cadillac. And I feel bad about that. But also, like I said, I don't want to put the time in if it's just going to get trashed right away.
You park yours in the garage, though?
It is in the garage.
Okay.
And so this weekend, Sunday, I finally had the time, and I looked at the forecast. I had looked at the forecast prior, and it didn't say it was going to rain, so I didn't look at it enough.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
But so I washed it on Sunday, and I was impressed as shit. The car is fucking dirty. I mean, it's coated with rain, dirt down the sides, on the roof, on the hood, like the whole thing. I got the hose and I started like just pre-wetting it. It was beating.
Well, that's
the
awesome.
motherfucker was beating, and it's been like 3 months with hard weather and being at the shop for a month and all this shit. Like, who knows where they had it at the shop? I don't know. You know, I was super impressed by that. So I'm saying like a car wash. I don't know what hardness rating they're saying it is or any of that shit. I'm just saying I'm impressed at the fact that it is beating water off.
Yeah.
After just being beat to shit from weather and whatever for 3 months.
I think my car ebbs and flows from being parked inside frequently. Yeah. I'm probably at best 40% of your time in the garage because you're pretty much always.
Yeah.
Mine comes in and out with the bike. I can move around, or I've got my fitness stuff comes in here, or I leave the table up, or there's a construction project. Who the fucking knows? My car will get. I see less durability, but it's in the direct sun.
Yeah.
But that length of time that I feel I get out of the Griot's product is far and away more than I ever got from a chemical guy's product.
Yes.
Full stop.
So
full stop.
Now, granted, our
#Ulanzi.
our experience with said products is limited to a couple, but I've been super impressed so far.
I have like a full suite of shit.
I know
over there now.
I have an order coming.
Good for you.
Like a $70 order coming for.
I have the plastic ceramic rejuvenator. I've got the foam wash, the foam soap.
Yeah.
I've been super impressed with. The ceramic wash. I think I've got 4 or 5 now.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Oh, I have their polish. It's over there
to
your 5 o'clock, which I did a door, which I was really impressed with.
Yeah.
But now I'll try the hood.
Is it polished for paint?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a compound and like color correct, I think.
Okay.
But like a finishing polish.
Yeah.
Similar to what I expect I'm going to get out of the Sonax.
Yeah.
But I'll retry the Sonax just to see on the other side of the car.
Yeah.
So
I think I ordered like some tire shine, some interior cleaner, some
Yep.
leather
I
cleaner,
think I have the tire shine.
and another ceramic bottle because I was getting low.
Good for you.
So I'm
we
just
can
saying,
only take so much from your son.
well, I went through that bottle, and
Yeah.
then I
we had to
to
convince him to buy another bottle, so he'll give us split of the other one.
Yeah, right.
It's-
I'll take half.
You know,
11 ounces
trust
is
me,
good.
you should try it again. They made it better.
I don't know what he was doing, how he got rainbows on his truck after using it, but I'm very deliberate when I wash my car with this stuff.
Listen, if you wash your truck with 2 thumbs inside your anus, you're going to get rainbows.
Oh, for sure.
And that's what he got.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
I don't know what to tell you. You know,
well, I don't know if it was too hot, if maybe he didn't. I mean, I bought a measuring cup, right? A
Yeah.
measuring cup that I can like pour it in and go, yeah, I got 2 ounces or whatever it is. Maybe he's not doing that and he's glugging 4 ounces or, double shots in there or something.
Shot.
And then next thing you know, you're getting rainbows because you just have too much product.
I have now 2 foam cannons.
Yeah, me too.
Do you?
Yes.
Because here, hey, welcome to Sad Dad's Club podcast. This is your car maintenance
This
episode.
is your car maintenance sadness episode.
Because here's what happened for me.
Yeah.
I would mix a good ratio in one foam cannon,
Yeah.
wash my car, and then have extra. And I started to feel bad that I was wasting it, or I didn't. And then I needed to do I would go from foam cannon soap to the wash,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be like, well, how do I, and I found a donor thing, and now I'm fucking Doofenshmirtz, fucking chemist, and pouring 1A from, and then funnel, and I'm spilling it.
Right.
Well, this stuff's not cheap.
Right.
For $25 to $30, you can get a good enough foam cannon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's all I need. So I have a foam cannon for foam soap, and I have a foam cannon for my car wash.
Uh-huh.
And if I have extra, then I use it until it's gone. But now I'm not either tossing it or, I'm spilling it anyway and holding it in a container that no one else is going to read in the house. But now I have 2. It just makes sense. So now I have 2 at any given point in time.
Yeah.
It's good that we're on the same fucking page.
I have 2 because the first one I had, I wasn't super happy with the foam output on it.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly, this sounds terrible, but I bought some towels off a TikTok shop from Blackline Auto Care.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great towels.
Mm-hmm.
They're drying towels.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw them on, drag them off, fucking thing's dry.
Mm-hmm.
And super absorbent. I have 3 of them now. Okay?
I've never used a microfiber towel of better quality than the Griot's fucking microfiber.
Okay.
So if you need some of those, hashtag Griot's. Fucking
So
hit me.
So I was impressed with their towels enough. They have a Blackline foam cannon, and I was like, well, these towels are fucking great.
It wasn't $90, was it?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I think it was 20.
I have a hard time wondering how the fuck they're charging $90 for some people's.
I don't know either. But I ordered that motherfucker, and that thing
Smokes?
makes fucking foam.
Yeah.
So I've been very impressed with it. So far, for me personally, the Blackline stuff, very impressed with the product.
How much did you pay, though?
It was
okay?
somewhere in the $20
Oh, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$24 or something.
The foam cannons at that price point at Amazon are no different than the $22 ceramic coatings. It's just change a vowel, add a consonant,
Yeah.
maybe another syllable, and you're golden.
Yeah. But so I don't even use my foam cannon at this point because when
you bucket?
Yeah, I'm a bucket. I've been bucket washing.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is because it's the ceramic Griot's wash, which does not really foam.
That is correct. And it's not intended to foam.
Right. So I don't care
Right.
that I'm washing without foam.
Mm-hmm.
The way I'm doing it is now I'm a little gun shy seeing Chandler rainbowing his truck up.
Right.
So I get the car wet, I sort of just use the hose to like rinse off
Mm-hmm.
any extra stuff.
Yeah.
And then I put my ceramic soap in the bucket, and I use a nice quality microfiber mitt. And I do a section at a time, like roof, windshield, windows, back window, spray it off.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Right. Yep.
Do the other side, spray it off. Do the hood, spray that off. Down the side, do the rear. So it's like I'm very deliberate in the methodology I use to wash a car, which isn't actually different from how I used to wash a car, except now I use soap, and I didn't used to use soap back in the day.
A lot of how I reflect upon how I wash a car now.
Yeah.
It's a lot like pretty much everything else you do as a dad. Like man.
It's experience.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't listen. And this will probably be for the. I wholeheartedly remember washing his car to just be nice, my mom's car, Pontiac Grand Am,
just to knock the dirt off.
Just to be nice. Like, you know what? It would be nice. Wash Dad's car. Like, get outside. It's hot in the summer. I'll play with the fucking hose. Wash the car.
Yeah.
Do something nice for Dad.
Yeah.
With a fucking green Brillo pad sponge from the sink, because that's what it took to get the dirt off.
Right. And now you look back and
I look back at that and I'm like, man,
if that was my car and my son went out there with those tools,
dude, you would
there would have been a beat down.
I would have one child.
Absolutely.
Like
now, I remember distinctly, like washing my mom's Plymouth Fury.
Yeah.
And it had big chrome bumpers, and the car was ginormous. So it was like you're essentially washing an RV. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
The car
amount
was
of
so
sheet
fucking
metal
big.
on that thing would make someone in the Midwest at this point in time like
And I would wash it up, and then I'd be like, oh, those bumpers sure would look nice polished, and then I'd get the fucking polishing compound out, and I'd start cleaning it. Fucking vacuum every crevice in that car. I was all over that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't getting paid. I just wanted to wash the car. I enjoy it, or enjoyed it especially back then. So yeah, like I don't remember if we had soap, if we used soap. I don't remember any of that. Yeah. I just remember spending time, like often, washing cars, polishing the bumpers up.
Yeah, shit, dude. Out in the country, it was get mom's stew pot, squirt some Dawn in it,
right,
and grab the sponge Brillo pad hybrid and go to town.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, it's shiny and wet now and clean, and no one ever said anything.
To the contrary.
Yeah. Like,
why are you washing that thing with?
Dude, I am telling you, the amount of clear coat I surely removed from my parents' car out of complete ignorance, but yet goodwill, is probably only masked by my dad being thankful that I wasn't lighting something on fire or
he's like, well, at least he's washing the car.
Yeah, I mean, I would have rathered you weed eated the pasture, but fucking you washed my car, so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I get the hard shell turtle wax out and go nuts with that.
Right. That's you know.
I was all over that.
Dawn dish soap at best.
That's funny. But I just think like the things that we know about managing or not managing, but taking care of paint and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like back then maybe cars were a little more resilient or something. I don't know.
I do wonder. Well, you know, I struggle with this. I mean, it's only been
maybe it's because they're so high gloss now.
Probably COVID or so, where I even considered or knew about like two bucket method.
Yeah.
And I think, because I think Dave may have picked up on this when we've talked before in conversation or the times that he's been here. I would bucket and microfiber mitt. I did that with the Subaru. I've done that with the RS. I was never really double dipping or two bucketing. And I think a lot of the swirl marks that I certainly saw, well, I see it for sure on the RS.
Yeah.
And Data's, you could see it on black.
Oh, yeah.
Black, you see, you can't.
Yeah.
It's unmistakable. I think my desire to keep a car clean, even with a microfiber, has probably like, oh man, I should. So that's why I try really hard to. I've been trying. The last couple of years buckets, but even probably the last year or so, I've tried to do the foam soap to get the lather to pull off stuff.
Yeah.
And then wash it.
Yeah.
And then if it really does require, if it's been too long between applications of the griots and it's not really beading anymore.
Yeah.
Or if I've gone up the mountain and it's clear that grime isn't coming off, then I'll use the microfiber because clearly the lather foam soap didn't do its thing.
Right.
But that type of washing sequence, I've been doing that for the last 3 cars, and I assure you with a mitt, I was probably not helping my cause for, even though I'm trying to do a ceramic, and I wash, and I wax, and then I rinse, and
you try to be super careful.
I try to, but you can tell my frequency to wash the car with the mitt, microfiber or otherwise, has left me with micro scratch marks.
I have some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the reasons why Venus's new car is white is so that we can.
You don't have to see
but
it all
also,
the time.
her Subaru will be the ceramic coating prototype.
Oh yeah.
After I do mine.
Yeah.
So then her clear coat will have coating upon coat.
Yeah.
Fucking tits up. Anyway.
That's good stuff.
It is.
Speaking of car stuff,
I say go.
One of the things that I despise about my car is the wheels. I have struggled with maintaining the paint coat that was on the. So for those not in the know, my car has silver wheels, basically a coated silver wheel. It's coated with a clear plastic protection coat. And whoever owned my car prior to me, I think there was a mishap in that car, and they didn't replace the wheel. The wheel took a little hit, and instead of replacing the wheel, they spray painted it. Like it got polished or something, like cleaned up, and it looked different from the other wheels, so they just spray painted all the wheels black. So it was black spray paint wheels. Okay. And it looks good. I think that car looks great with black wheels. That was one of the things I loved about it, is that it has this
murdered out
look to it.
Yeah.
And shortly after getting it, the paint that was on these wheels started to chip away from stuff just hitting it or whatever. And especially in the wet months when, rain or whatever is kicking up stuff, it would chip away. And then the wheels look terrible. So Chandler and I spray painted them again just to clean them up. And then they looked bad again. And then I took more effort to clean them off, sand them down, use proper primer, paint, and I put a clear coat on them. And that has also taken a beating.
Okay.
I found there's a place in Sacramento that does wheel repair restoration, and
Okay.
they have a special that you can do for like $120 a wheel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how you give them the wheels,
Mm-hmm.
it might be more expensive because if they have to take them off and take the rims off and rebalance them and all that shit, it's extra work.
Right.
So it might be $150 a wheel if you just drop your car off.
Okay.
But it usually takes them a couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
and they will powder coat them.
Okay.
And you get to pick what the color.
Pigment.
Yeah, if you want. Because I just want satin black. I don't want shiny wheels.
Okay, it's funny you're mentioning this. Keep going.
So I am looking at doing that at some point.
Okay. I do not know anything further about durability than what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Cerakote product that cures without being ovened that I have seen that has a thermal range all the way up to 1800 degrees.
Oh.
That I've seen a gentleman use in some of the car tuber stuff, like to coat valve covers and headers of
but also
various mechanical products.
I mean, also an area that you're not going to be taking direct rock hits and stuff.
Right. So that's the questionable part. I don't know the impact durability of something like that, but it is not a paint per se, as I would think. Like it's almost because it's curing.
Now I have to look it up.
Cerakote. Fuck. I put it. Because most of those products are like almost like close to powder coat-esque, where you need to cure it and harden it in an oven.
Yeah.
This Cerakote product comes out of a detail gun, so it's a DIY type of thing.
Okay.
And after 24 hours, it cures like a 2K product. But again, the road debris impact durability, that I do not know. But it has a thermal durability of a heat-cured product.
Is it the Cerakote F series?
I believe it's the C series.
Okay. I'll have to look that up.
I'll send it to you. I
have it right here.
Do you found it?
Yeah, C series.
Check.
I mean, I'm more than willing to do it myself. It takes time. That's the problem.
The gentleman I followed was like, he was like, it was like a how-to. He was doing valve covers. At the time, he was doing valve covers for like an LS engine for a hot rod. And he was using it as like a refresh, but also because it was up to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit stable.
Yeah.
So you can put this shit on anything in the engine bay and be fine. I was looking at it from the perspective of when I start looking at Mima's drum brakes and calipers of
coating
those because the thermal threshold would work, and I don't need to go buy some fucking donor oven to cure a paint.
I'll have to do a little research on that, on whether or not it's good for wheels.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this place was that they do some amount of wheel repair.
Okay.
And if it's going to be more because the wheels thrash or whatever, they'll tell you. They'll let you know.
Right.
So you get the wheels cleaned up, and then they powder coat them, and then they just look like they're brand new. Like the work they do is pretty incredible. And the way I found out about them was through the shop that just did the diff on the Cadillac. Because I asked them, like, hey, do you know anybody who does like wheel repair, powder coating?
Right.
Oh, yeah, this place in Sacramento is where you want to go.
Right.
And I looked them up, and they have killer reviews, like almost 5-star kind of thing.
That's awesome.
And like the gallery was like, damn, they're doing beautiful work.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would love to just be able to like give it to somebody,
Yeah.
and be done with it.
Yeah.
And not have to, because it's
as long
like
as it's not going to break the bank.
Yeah, each wheel for me
Right.
is a matter of multiple hours of work of cleanup, sanding, cleaning, prepping.
Oh yeah. It would be more than a weekend thing for you.
Yeah.
Like the Cerakote product was like a full prep. Like we're talking acetone, grease remover. Like you're deep diving, and these are wheels. I'm sure that's like that's a probably over a weekend process if you want to, because grime on the wheels is probably even more excessive than some engine parts from a clean engine bay.
Yeah. And the wheels on my car are fairly flush. I mean, they're flush with the side of the car for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the wheels themselves, like the spokes on them, are on the outside of the rim. They're not inset at all. There's no
offset.
They're like flush with the outside of the rim, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out there, right, taking hits, which is part of the reason why whatever paint coatings I put on them have failed.
Mm-hmm.
So, they probably have like dipping stations where they just plunk them in a chemical bath and
a big jewelry cleaner for wheels.
Yeah. And it, chemical cleans them up, and then they go in and polish any imperfections out. And then they clean,
They take the tires off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the full thing.
Oh.
See, I think it's $120 if you just deliver them the rim.
The rim.
Yeah, but if they have to like take the tire off, or you just take your car and drop it off, then they remove the wheels and tires and the weights and clean them completely. That costs you a little bit more because there's a little bit more labor.
You're just going to leave the thing just on jack stands in the
That's
garage.
what they would. That's my understanding.
Take them on the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Come on, leave it.
No,
on
I would literally
that bitch.
I would drop it off. Why not?
Oh, fucking.
I mean, I've been months without my car before, so it's not going to be a problem if it goes 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. The recommendation thing is a good point, because like asking your shop or a vendor that you're doing, because I did that with Heimdall. Heimdall is the name for the motorcycle.
Okay.
If I keep saying Heimdall and I don't say the Honda or the motorcycle, Heimdall is the name for the motorcycle.
What's the name based from?
Norse mythology, the gateway to all things, the Rainbow Bridge. It's Heimdall is the if you've watched any of the Thor movies, Heimdall is the guy with the sword that controls the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He just strikes me as a Heimdall.
Okay.
That's not true. I called Honda Power Sports over here in Roseville.
Yeah.
To get a quote. I scheduled an appointment to take Heimdall over there to have the front forks, which have springs that are long, overcompressed, and done.
Yeah.
To have them replaced, OEM Plus. Made an appointment on Friday. I didn't hear from them almost 6 days later, so I checked in the day before my appointment that I scheduled online, and I said, hey, I'm just checking in. Like, I scheduled an appointment last week to bring my, is there a time I need to bring the bike in? Is there, I need to come in and get a quote, and then I bring the bike in? Like, how's this work? And I got a fairly quick response back was, we don't see you on the thing, specs on the bike. All of this over DMs. It was relatively fast responses. And then once I told them the specs on the bike and the year of the bike, I got back a message that was basically like, we can't work on that type of maintenance on that age of a bike.
Oh.
We can do oil changes, lubricant.
That's kind of wild.
Tire changes, but we can't do.
And what year is the bike?
It's a 2002.
That's not that old.
Honda 1800 VTX-C. So they were like, really sorry.
Where do you recommend?
So then I said, well, is there? And they said we recommend like going to a local shop or a private business to handle that kind of maintenance on a bike. And I went.
So they're actually the Honda. That's right.
They're
the Honda dealer.
Right. They're a Honda dealer who did not want.
That makes more sense.
A Honda. Right. I'm like, okay.
Kind of.
Right. I'm like, fuck, dude. I got money.
I'm going to the source.
I'm going. Right.
Yeah.
Dude, really?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird.
My bad.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yep.
So my reply naturally was I'm like, okay, well, you're telling me like local, is there someone you recommend? And they basically punted like as an authorized Honda dealer.
We can't.
And I went, okay, well, I thank you for the quick replies. They certainly were quick outside the part where it was 6 days before I had to check in to say that they hadn't received the digital schedule thing, whatever. But the gentleman or lady, whoever I was corresponding with, was very fast once I sent them a DM. Unfortunately, not my business. So I sent a thing to Mike and Jason, who are much more motorcycle engaged than I am. I'm like, hey, man, so I need a local shop that's not these big guys that can do this kind of thing. The Sacramento Facebook group, like Motorcycle Riders Group, started kicking out names of shops in the area to Mike, who he was relaying to me, that would potentially do this stuff, but also DIYers that are like, as soon as I'm not busy, I could take a job on like that. It was like,
really?
It like super,
almost like Jeep,
like
club, sort of thing.
It was like, just hey man, help out, helper kind of thing. But one of the shops that they recommended was over here in, I want to say, Citrus Heights ish, North Antelope, Daredevil Motorsports.
Oh,
they only really do suspension shit.
Oh,
I sent them a thing. Monday, and really I had been apprehensive about sending them stuff because I was like, well, I've got a recommendation from a couple people that Mike relayed to me, so let me check around and see. So I did some of my homework, and it was all good stuff, and I'm like, okay, but if I have to take the bike over there, so now I'm dodging weather because I've got to figure out, one, is it a Friday or a Thursday that Venus has a lunch and she's home?
right.
And it's not raining, so I could take the bike over there, drop it off. So I had been. That's a lazy way of saying I was being. What is the? I'm pushing off.
Standoffish.
Yeah, I'm gonna say lazy.
Dragging your feet.
Yeah, I'm being late. I'm looking for an excuse to be lazy about it because I didn't want. I'm like, the weather is not really working out. I ended up, I think Sunday or Monday, just sending a message and calling, like, hey, I have a 2002 Honda VTX with inverted forks that have springs that are woefully just overused. I need them OEM Plus for 2-up riding. I was referred to you guys from the Sacramento Facebook motorcycle group. Could you do this for me? I think Tuesday, I got a reply back from the owner of the shop who was like, yeah, we can do that.
He's like, fuck you, man.
Fuck you. We don't work on Hondas.
Fucking Honda. That's not even a real motorcycle.
Do you have Harley? We only work on Harleys because America. No, not even close. He was like, yeah, well, we can do that. I'm like, okay, like how? Sure.
How much?
Well, they have their price quotes right on their page, so I know about ballpark what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then he sent me one of the most ridiculous things I had not even thought of, and he was like, "So, will you be bringing the bike by, or just the forks?" And I went,
"Oh, that's an option."
Well, I whatever is easiest for you, I guess I can do that. And then so I send that.
Well,
I'm like,
if you want to just bring the forks, it's cheaper.
Really, it's about timing. So I sent the thing off. I'm like, whatever's easiest for you. I hadn't really thought about that. And he's like, yeah, if you bring the bike by, I can't get you scheduled in for like 30 days. But if you bring me the forks, I can probably turn it around in 1 to 2 days. And you just need to tell me you're bringing the forks in. And I went,
I will bring the forks in.
I will bring the forks in. And I said, I'm going to be honest. I feel like a total dipshit because I had not. That
wasn't even an option.
I've been holding back on engaging in this conversation because
trying to get the bike there.
I'm worried about how I'm going to get the bike there and then get home and the weather. I might have to ride in the rain and how long you're going to have the bike. But if I can just put the bike on a fucking jack stand and take the forks off and tell you the day before, I'm bringing you the forks. And then 2 days later or 1 day later, you tell me to come pick the forks up. Well, now I'm a dumbass.
No, that's
right.
I mean, I don't know why you would have thought, you know.
It didn't even, I'm like the simplicity of removing forks from a fucking motorcycle or it's
pretty easy.
And I have a bike jack. There's no reason.
You have the bike jack, so you can do that.
I can do that. Yes. Like I have bought the parts to do the thing that I didn't think would make sense to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But if you're ever looking for something, certainly, I mean, this applies to all things. But when you're talking about cars or motorcycles or any type of vehicle, and you go to someone you trust for some sort of feature and you want something else that they don't do, ask them.
Oh, yeah.
Because
they're in the industry. They know.
Right. Certainly, if you have someone, like if you have a mechanic that you trust, those are the guys that will be able to tell you in the local area who does good work for exhaust.
Yeah.
Who does good work for detailing. Like car guys and motorcycle guys are the best people to get recommendations from of who's not going to fuck you.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
I swear I even looked for, at one point I swear I had Googled like wheel repair or something. And I just was like, does anyone even do this kind of thing? Like, is it even possible? I don't know. Yeah. Right. And I never came across it. And he's like, oh, yeah, go to Quicksilver. And he's like, they're the best in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I go look at their website and I'm like, oh, shit, that's 4.9 stars out of 5. Like, that's the reviews. I'm like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Like, oh, shit. And they got a deal. Like, I mean, I may not be able to get my tire off, but I could literally jack stand my car and take one wheel in and be like, all right, do this one. And then like a couple weeks later, do this one,
Yeah.
And just not have a car for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
Or just ride on a donut.
I don't have a donut. My car has no spare.
God damn it, Jim.
I know.
Fuck.
I know.
American problem.
Why do they not put spares in a lot of cars?
The RS doesn't have a donut either.
Yeah.
Ooh. I do not know what the Subaru has.
Probably has one.
Probably has
I guarantee you
it
has
wilderness. One. It probably has like a donut in a donut in a donut. It's like a spare for a spare.
Yeah. There's probably one mounted on the back you didn't even notice.
Right. Yeah. Just like inset. She's like, oh my God, there's this trunk space is left. Like, yeah, you just put a fucking roof rack on there, though. You start stuffing things in the roof rack.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just need to stop hauling so much shit.
Oh, my wife's car is terrible, man. It's like a rolling closet or something. It's not, and I'm not saying it's full of clothes. It's just got a bunch of shit in there. Like, I don't even know what half of it is. Some of it's for school. Some of it's, and I'm like, what is, like, anytime, like, that's the car we would haul bigger things in.
Yeah.
And you open up the hatch on it and you're like, what is all this shit in here? You know what I mean? We have all this room, but nowhere to put anything because it's full of shit.
I knew. Hashtag I love my wife. I knew she was coming back with something because she unloaded.
Oh, she was made up before she left.
Whether she is going to say, hashtag I love my wife.
Hold on. I'm even going to go as far as to say is that when she was unloading it, she was talking to herself saying, I'm getting rid of this fucking thing today. As she was.
Oh, I don't know about that part. I'm sure she's still probably trying to figure out how she's going to put it all back in the new one. But she knows full well. She'll probably say, I was doing it to make sure they didn't see all my mom stuff and gave me maximum value for the appraisal or the trade-in value. But she knew she was going to be leaving that bitch there and bringing something else home because that's why she vacated all the stuff. That did. I bought the. She didn't have. That's not true. She had, but she didn't know she had one of the car jumper battery things.
Oh yeah.
She was like, I need to have one for here because I didn't have one in the Explorer. I'm like, I bought you one for the Explorer. She's like,
did you leave it in the Explorer?
She went and found it.
Oh.
She went and found it.
Okay.
And it has mommy written on it. So it wasn't even that I shuffled one around before she could find it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought you one. I put it in your car.
You could have written it on there after the fact.
It had mommy written on it. But, truth be told, as much as we've talked about this, the RS did not have one.
Yeah.
And Dory, which is the Escape, did not have one. Mm-hmm. I found a really good deal for a bigger amp jumper battery thing on Amazon for like, it was normally $129. $139 for $89.
It was on sale for $1,000.
Right.
That's a good deal
with tariffs.
Well, good thing you got the Subaru before the tariffs.
Right. So I ended up getting one for the RS, so now the RS has one, and and Dory the Escape has one now.
I think
so. All cars no longer have jumper cables. We have jumper batteries. I feel really good about that.
Yeah. We don't have batteries, but I have one battery in my car, but all the cars have at least jumper cables.
I mean, they're not cheap.
I mean, my daughter is never going to probably connect jumper cables, so she'll get help from somebody, and hopefully that person knows how to do it. Because even
Does
if
her
I show
Subaru
her
not have a battery thing, so she could do it on her own.
I mean, the battery's right up front. What do you mean?
No, it's a NiCad battery with jumper cables on it.
Yeah.
She does not have one of those.
No, she has cables.
Oh, okay. She has cables.
Yeah.
So for her birthday, just get her a jumper battery and just call it a day.
Go.
She'll be like, Dad, I wanted squish. And you'll be like, I'm saving you from a road assault.
I'm like, guess what? You got AC and a heater.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
How's that working for you? Happy birthday for next year.
Surprise.
Yeah.
You're like, what's that? She's like, what's that? And you're like, work invoice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Exactly. So when I was out front this weekend, like washing my car and doing yard work, my wife came out and she's like, Melly is in the house vacuuming. And I was like, oh. Shit. Like, what happened?
We've done the thing.
Yeah, wow.
What'd she do?
No, I think
she was just learning.
Maybe it's because of the car. I don't know. Maybe she was like,
trying to work it off, Dad. I'm so sorry.
Just
don't let her near your car with the Brillo pad sponge thinking she's cleaning, washing your
barely
car.
will ride in the back of it. She won't drive it. She won't even look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Melly, this morning, oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
I got up at 3:15 today to be on the road by 3:30 to go to the airport to drop Melly off. To fly to New Orleans, so she's in New Orleans right now.
Oh.
doing an audiology conference
Ooh.
with a friend from her cohort. Yeah. So they met up in Denver. Because she's up in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They met up in Denver and then flew to New Orleans.
Ooh.
And then they're splitting a room.
Yeah.
And because that was her roommate when
Mhm.
she was up in
Mm-hmm.
Portland, and they're going to a conference and they're in New Orleans. It's kind of cool.
For how long?
Till Sunday.
God
I think
damn.
she gets home like midday Sunday.
If you ever listen to this, I hope you ate well.
Yeah.
Because, man, New Orleans.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Oh, I have not.
Fuck.
I have not been there.
Yes.
It's not a place where I consider it a destination, but I would like to go sometime. It's not a place where I go, I have to go to New Orleans, but I would like to go sometime.
I went on a Unix conference with my boss at the time, so this was probably 99. It's been a long time. And I was so young at the time, it was almost like I was an older son accompanying my boss and his wife. I was 21, so I was probably 23, 24. So I was of drinking age. So I went with them to like after hours. We went to a couple like street bars. I had a Hurricane or multiple.
Or a dozen.
We went to the Cafe Du Monde and I had chicory coffee and beignets.
Nice.
But the daytime was spent doing nerd shit. And at that age, I think I went to some mall there, and I had a muffaletta sandwich that was probably the circumference of a fucking basketball. And to this day, I'm like, why was I not putting like olive tapenade on a fucking sandwich before? This is amazing.
Right.
But it was ridiculously huge. I ate the whole thing. But at that age, you can and not worry about it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I missed a lot of the culinary stuff.
Yeah.
Years later, mid to late aughts, my dad drove back from Florida when my brother was at Full Sail in Florida, and they drove back through New Orleans, and they did it as a food thing.
Oh.
And both of them are like, we ate here, we ate this, and we went here, and we ate that. And I was like,
jambalaya?
Yes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I missed it.
It's interesting because Melly's a vegetarian, and her roommate that she's with doesn't eat fish.
Oh.
So between the two of them, they're probably difficult to find a place to eat.
No. Could be. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than like pizza or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Man, I would love to go back. Venus has never been.
Yeah.
Pretty much no one else in the family besides me has been. To go back as a culinary experience.
Yeah.
Like, certainly there are cultural things there that you can't miss, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would go for culinary stuff. Like, I would
just eat your way through town.
Yes. Give me jambalayas. Give me whatever. What's that? It's fucking like Creole. Hit me.
Yeah.
Jambalaya here. I would almost like, show me your jambalayas like I would here in Bloody Marys. Like, give me, because I feel like in New Orleans, a jambalaya is probably the family recipe iterations. Like, we've got a thing. It's
like clam chowder in San Francisco or something.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, sure. Sourdoughs or fucking whatever. Yeah. If you're going to go somewhere to try a thing that will be probably the best iteration of it, Creole food, jambalaya in New Orleans is probably it.
For sure.
Outside of maybe like a Jamaica or a some island where a lot of that heritage probably originally stems from, with the blend of French cooking. But now you're getting almost far outside of the blend. Like, New Orleans gives you that fusion.
Yeah.
God, I would love to go back there to try that stuff.
Someday we'll go, I feel like.
Cafe du Monde. What, and in the time, it's funny that you would like to reflect on something that you did, and you're like, I did it, and it was cool, and now I realize I probably didn't.
I fucked up.
I didn't fully grasp how cool it was for the things. Like,
well, when you're a younger person like that, you don't fully grasp that stuff.
The beignet was, I mean, it was amazing. I had a cup of chicory coffee, but I had no idea that it wasn't coffee. It's chicory coffee. So the palate is different. I was just completely just enamored with the pastry, the beignet. And then fucking, and I get these at Disneyland. It's fucking, I hope I have a chance to take Venus.
Yeah.
Like it was a great experience, and it's one of those landmark places. If you like food, or you're a foodie, or you want to try something that will just be like, I was there. I did that thing. Seattle, the Fisherman's Market. Even if you're not a fish person. Like, to be there and have food in that place, in that location, is a Fisherman's Wharf in Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco. Like
Little Italy area.
There's something extra special about the location and the food that makes the whole thing. Cafe du Monde in New Orleans is like one of those places. It's not a 5-star thing. It's like the moment, the location, and the nuanced thing that they're offering you that makes it, man, I was here.
Yeah.
I checked that box. That was cool.
Someday we'll go, I feel like. But I'm glad that she got to go there.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, so she was really excited to go.
Is it a school curriculum thing, or is this just extra credit trying to sharpen the tools in her tool shed?
I don't think they had to go, but there are several kids from the cohort going, or several students from the cohort going. I don't think it's required by the school or anything like that.
Was it? Do you know if it was expensive? Is
probably the most expensive thing is probably the hotel or something, I assume.
And she flew through Denver?
Yeah.
I had a coworker that went to Vegas, and they had to fly through, I want to say he was out of like northern Utah, and wherever his flights were, he had to fly through Dallas, Fort Worth, in and out the beginning of the trip and return home. Shit flights. And his return trip home through Dallas, he had a layover due to plane and mechanical failure. 24 hours. Spent it inside Dallas, Fort Worth.
Oh.
He's like, fucking hell, dude.
I did a layover there.
Did you?
One time, yeah, to go to Mexico City.
Oh.
That was my famous Mexico City trip that I was there for 24 hours and didn't have a meal.
Oh, shit.
Did I ever tell you about that?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm probably sure I did.
It
was a work thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because you didn't eat. You just worked.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was like, flew in to Mexico City. Someone from the dealer or somebody picked me up.
Yeah.
It could have been someone from Televiso. I'm not sure. Televiso is the big TV station that does like all the soap operas and shit. I got picked up at the airport, taken straight to Televiso, into the editor's suite where they were having some problem, and our reseller was there, and then we worked on it. I called home.
You're like, the problem here is you have too many lines of Coke that are unsnorted.
Hey, this is what we're seeing. I don't know what And so I got a new drop of software sent to somebody that was involved who worked for IBM at the time.
Okay.
So then we had to drive. So then we left Televiso and drove through Mexico City to the other side of town for like an hour and a half.
Right.
To go to IBM. I don't know why you couldn't get email somewhere else. To get his email, to get the email that was sent with the software included.
Okay.
And then load back up in the car and go back to Televiso to load the new software to find out that also didn't work.
Oh.
And then get taken to the hotel I was staying at, which by this time it was late. Crash. Be told I'm going to be picked up some point in the morning and not know where or what time that was going to be.
18:09, sir.
Yeah. And I'm sharing a room with the dude that was our reseller. So it's like, hey, all right, see you. And by the time I woke up in the morning, he was already gone. And then wait in the lobby for someone to pick me up for a couple of hours. See the president of Mexico show up after seeing dudes with AK-47s walking around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, the president of Mexico just showed up with a...
You didn't fix it. Now you die, bitch.
Dude, it was crazy. And then I got picked up and driven straight back to the airport and got on a flight and flew back into Dallas, where I went to Fridays and had a salad.
I was gonna say, just
on my layover.
A Subway. You had a meatball sandwich.
Dude, it was like I was in Mexico City where they have killer fucking Mexican food, right?
Right, you would think.
And I didn't have a single drop of liquid or a single taco or anything.
You're just sitting there like blowing on the glass and writing taco. The reseller.
I was so goddamn. I remember flying into Dallas like, I am so fucking hungry right now.
You're like, never put me in a room again with Jim Schroeder. I caught him at 2 a.m. standing at the window with no pants, drawing taco on the window and slow jerking himself.
I was only there for not even 24 hours. I mean, it was crazy.
Por favor, ensalada.
Yeah.
Y tacos.
At one point, I was even wondering, is anyone coming to get me? Do I need to figure out how to get to the airport, which was far away?
They're like, yeah, federales, bitch.
And then the same chick eventually picked me up.
Yeah.
And we headed back to the airport, and I got on a flight and came.
She's like, you want the
It was like one of the weirdest.
Pink taco, Jim? You're like, no, plain. Yes, pink taco. I'll be a sandwich for you.
It was one of the weirdest like business trips I'd ever been on, ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you got no tacos.
My 19 hours in Mexico City.
Shit.
It's so bizarre.
How did you get the payload file from A to B? Like, was it floppy drive or USB back then? Or like...
That's a great... I don't remember.
Abacus.
Back then,
what did you have to transfer it back to the location with?
I don't remember what that was back then.
iOmega zip drive.
I mean, the software was small. It was just a little like, it was a Mac, so it was like a system extension. So it was, I think it was back in Mac OS 9 days. So it was just a little system extension that went in the system. So it was just a little piece of software. So it wasn't like anything big. It might have been on a floppy. I don't know. I don't remember what that was back then. So this is like in the 90s, mid-late 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But
probably not 5 1/4 anymore. 3.5?
Oh, it would have been 3.5 for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even think we had USB back then.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
You were probably down to like a tape drive of some sort, an iOmega zip drive, and it's a Mac. I don't know of a Mac interface that I can think of in an image that had 5 1/4 in it.
5 1/4 floppies?
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been 3.5
right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Maybe a CD. Maybe. Even those were expensive in the 90s.
I don't
early
think
or
there
late?
was burners available at that point.
Yeah, you'd be.
Maybe there might. Maybe.
God, I think Venus maybe had one in 95.
Yeah. A CD drive? or a burner.
A burner. CDRW.
I only had
94.
I only had burners available because of working there, and because we wrote software that wrote CD drives or CDs on a CD burner.
God, I remember it. God damn, when those first came out.
I know. And remember when the RWs came out?
Yeah.
You could erase them and write them again.
Read, write multiple times.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
magic.
Now I'm making mixtapes, but on CDs.
Yeah. And then it just seemed to go away super fast.
Yeah. Psst.
Yeah.
Game over.
We were just talking about this in our chat because Chandler was talking about some guy that was complaining that whatever MacBook Air didn't have a CD drive built in. It was like, does any laptop nowadays have a CD drive in it? Probably not. I mean, unless it's a specialized.
So COVID hit. I have not bought. I think even the laptops before COVID. So 2018. I don't think I have bought a laptop since at least 2018 that has had a CD-ROM drive.
Yeah. I mean, even, all the desktops I have don't have a drive in them. And I only have a drive because I have an external DVD RW drive. But the last software I bought that had a disk was TurboTax. I think that was last year. This year, they didn't even offer a disk.
Yeah.
So, crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I'm not quite sure when that stopped for me. I think I've had, 2016. My 2016 rig that has gotten me all the way to this year did not have a CD-ROM drive.
Oh, really? From 2016?
Yeah, so at least 2016.
So almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I stopped a PC
It's time
tower.
for a new machine, bro.
Well, yeah, the new one doesn't have one. All it has is a fucking bank of USB interfaces on the front of it.
Know.
So fucking there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. The reason why, like, my CD or DVD burner, like, drive, it's not even connected. It's just sitting on top of the machine. And most of that is because I don't have a spare USB port on the machine to plug it into.
Oh.
I'd have to disconnect a bunch of shit in order to plug it in.
Could you imagine how the size of most products nowadays, your MacBook Airs, even your MacBook Pros, your high-performance laptops, how much bigger your netbooks, your Chromebooks, how much bigger those devices would have to be if you had to stuff a disk drive and a motor and a reader, a laser.
There's just not enough room.
You could not pull off the current form factor of modern computers with a CD drive in it.
Yeah.
It would not work.
Yeah. I want to say the last machine I got was remember the clamshell iBooks that were like orange or blue?
Yes.
I have a blue one somewhere.
Yeah.
And it had the atypical laptop slide out.
Oh, yeah.
So you hit the button and you pull it out, stick it in, and then have to push it back in. It didn't even have like a motor in it to like drive
it just like punched itself out an inch and then you had to...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the last machine that had a drive in it.
Venus may have had a laptop somewhere in between that had a drive. For my own purchase, it probably would have been, and I don't know if it's over there. It was an Alienware gaming laptop that was probably 2 inches thick that had a full CD-ROM drive in it.
Yeah.
Venus may have had a docking laptop because at that point in time, I think she was still like burning her Disney movies or Backyardigans movies for like allegedly, hashtag no copyrights,
Right.
hashtag whatever. For like all of the moms in the area, we all had kids of the same age, so someone would buy someone would buy
A disc.
a disc, and then it would be propagated, because then if you put that shit in your fucking Honda Odyssey, and then your little kid with their Cheeto hands gets on it, that one's done. So you're passing around a library of burned. What was the group of people? They used to do concerts. That's not Backyardigans. It was fruit salad. Yummy.
Oh, the Wiggles.
Wiggles.
Fuck yeah, I saw them in person.
Yes, those guys. You put that, and you can only use grubby fingered hands discs in your Honda Odyssey for so many times, or your Honda Pilot. She would rip them for the entire families, allegedly.
Did you have any experience with MO drives?
MO drives.
Yeah, like optical, magneto optical drives.
No.
MO drives.
No.
They were almost like little floppies, but they were like almost like CD discs inside of a little case.
A cassette?
Kind of.
Only in Enterprise.
Oh, okay.
Not
we
in-
did a bunch of software that dealt with MO drives and MO, that formatted MO
Mhm.
drives and stuff like that. So that was in the early days of working there, was the MO drives. Those sort of like went on the wayside when like the zip drives
Yeah.
and
Yes.
the jazz drives came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once those kind of came out with the capacities they had, because MO drives were small, like 128 or something like that. But when jazz drives came out with the 1 or 2 terabytes, or not terabytes,
Wait.
gigabytes.
Yeah, because it went from 512 with zips.
Yeah.
The jazz doubled it?
Yeah. So, yeah, the MO drives kind of went away.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. It's amazing, like how fast those, like everyone clamored for storage, right? Like storage was the big problem. Like,
yeah.
hard disks weren't that big. We've talked about this on the show before. Like my first Mac had a 700 megabyte hard drive, and that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to fill that, right?
Yep.
But also storage was pretty expensive.
Mm.
So everyone was looking for some sort of storage that you didn't have to like buy a whole new piece of hardware. You could just buy a cartridge or a thing to like pop into the drive.
Right.
And all that stuff sort of is gone. It's gone now. It's like a whole industry of storage things that.
Yeah. And now storage is so cheap that it's like almost trivial. We're way over. I saw a line of business at my current work that was using a network mounted file system that was 30 terabytes.
Oh, geez. Wow.
30 terabytes.
Yeah.
As someone that was building boutique PCs in 1995 that had a 120 megabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
To see someone in an enterprise place using a 30 terabyte NAS file system just for this one thing, amongst other file systems that are actively mounted on this server, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I can't even, what are you?
Yeah.
Not 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
Not 5.
Right.
Not 10. 30 terabytes.
So you don't have anybody that's using like a petabyte or something?
Well, obviously the storage array masters are
big,
are at petabyte tier, because they're carving out 30 like it's candy. So
that's crazy.
Fucking amazeballs.
Yeah. Imagine the kind of data that you're dealing with that you got to have 30 terabytes.
Right.
I mean, I could see a petabytes of storage usage for bank things.
Yeah.
For fucking massive amounts of customers and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Databasing, whatever.
Yeah.
But 30 terabytes is nothing to sneeze at. It's a far cry from a petabyte for sure. It's a small percentage of a petabyte.
Yeah.
But 30 terabytes is a lot. And nowadays you can buy a 8 terabyte hard disk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was looking at God, we're so old.
We are. I mean, I still remember on the floppy 5-inch discs learning that you could take a fucking paper punch and notch it and be able to record on the other side.
On the other side.
Without doing anything besides putting a notch in it.
Yeah, you just
put a notch on it. Now it sees it as a writable.
On the other side.
On the other side, and it just works.
It's all magnet.
Yeah.
In 2000-ish, I was racking at the time what was a Solaris D1000 storage array, and it was using 500 gigabyte drives, and there were 8 slots. What made the thing odd to me was that it had a cache board that it would use to almost stage some storage in the RAID array on this thing, as it would then increase performance to write it to the RAID. And it was just for cache, it was a 64 megabyte stick of RAM that just folded in like it would into a motherboard. And 4 years earlier, that amount of memory would have been like $2,000 if someone said, I need 64 gigs of RAM in my computer. And this 64...
You would have a hard time finding something that would take 64
megs. It was being used as a trivial slush fund of cache for this monstrous array, and it was like, man, how this thing just snowballed so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
I know we're over, but fun fact.
Go.
We'll
end it here.
Prior to me working at Charismac,
yes,
we had already written a RAID software product, so a software level RAID. So to take 2 drives, make them 1 drive, but stripe together and make them fast. That was one of the things that we did.
Yes.
Was for performance, for video applications specifically. Apple contacted us. This is prior to me working there. So this is just a story I've heard. They contacted us and they wanted to figure out the speed of their PCI bus on whatever Mac it was at the time. I think the 9500.
Okay.
And so what they came up with was using RAM discs.
Okay.
So they built RAM discs that they could hook up to the SCSI bus.
Mm-hmm.
Fast wide SCSI, I assume.
Yeah.
And then those 2 were independent drives, or however many discs there were, I'm not sure. But they took all those drives made out of RAM. So back then, that was not something that you did because RAM was expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So they took RAM, made them look like actual discs to the Mac.
Wow.
And then used our software to stripe them together and then run speed performance tests on them to see what the max PCI bus rate was on the computer.
What year was that?
That was... probably 95, because I started in 96.
That's bleeding edge shit.
Back then it was, yes. Yeah. And so I've heard, this is the legend. I've heard this story several times from a couple of the guys that were there prior to me getting there.
Wow.
And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Using RAM as disks.
Yeah.
Now we have SSDs and we're like, duh.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Like I just put 2 terabytes in my PS5.
Yeah, I got shit in a dongle off of a fucking that's got more storage than 5 of my first computers combined.
This little guy right here.
Yeah. Come on, man. And it's probably got 10 to 20 times the transfer rate.
Oh, absolutely.
On a USB bus.
Yeah.
As opposed to a SCSI fucking bus or being hardlined anyway.
What does it take to max out a current PCI bus? Right.
We ain't got it. I don't know.
Crazy.
Anyway, on that note, you should return the cart.
Wash your hands.
Wash your ass.
Check your oil, Tony.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Register to vote and vote, please.
Yeah. And do the kindness.
Pick up a broom, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.